Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This is going to be part 3 of our Road to 2K guide definitive edition. I've done the series in the past on Voobly, but I'm going to refurbish it here on the definitive edition for you guys, especially those who are new and didn't quite catch the old series I made. This is going to be the new one, and this is going to be part 3 in where we will kind of be talking about the bracket of 1100 ELO to 1200 ELO. So if you're 1100 something, this is the place for you to be. I'm going to show you guys what to work on in order to get up to that 1200 and continue improving. So hello to those on YouTube and hello to those on Twitch. Let's go ahead and move on to our second game of the day here. So I've got some notes here that I want to, just quickly send off before going into the game. And it's going to be very similar to the previous episode's points, but this time I'm going to take it a step further. So the first point is going to be to continue improving the Dark Age. Last video or last episode, I talked about building placement, some basic scouting, but I didn't really get into anything builder related. I'm still not going to worry about builders right now. Oh, actually, sorry. I'm going to be worrying about builders right now. Excuse me, a little glitch in the system. And I'm going to show you guys the proper way to do the Dark Age to efficiently allocate your villagers to be able to afford military in the feudal age at a very structured way. So we're going to be taking a look at a basic builder. I actually have these available for subs to my Twitch stream, and I have them available in my Discord. I'll leave links to both of these in every single episode in the description. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the builder though, and actually show you guys what I'm talking about here. Obviously this is going to be free access to builders, guys. So definitely, definitely keep your eyes peeled. I'm going to show you guys a few builders today, so that's going to be quite nice. But the builder we're going to start out with here, I'm going to quickly show it to you guys here. It's going to be okay, sorry about that. It's going to be the straight archers builder. Okay, so this is the straight archers builder. Again, I've got tons of builders available here. I add one every month, so definitely worth subscribing to if you're interested. This is the one I'm going to be focusing on for this episode. So I've got straight archers, and feel free to take a look at it. So it shows you exactly where you want your villagers to go, all the way up to castle age. I'm telling you what you need to focus on, what you need to get, when to make your archer range, when to make your archers, and how many villagers on each resource to have. So notice in the first episode, I just told you guys, don't worry about where your villagers are going. Just think of it logically. Take what resources you need in order to, in order to find, sorry, let me focus on what I'm saying here. In order to fit your plan, which was my plan last time to make knights. This time my plan is to make archers, but this is called a builder, and this is literally just a structured way to go about the early game. Highly recommend you guys master these, not learn them, you master them, you focus on this. But again, I'm an 1100 player, I've just subbed to Hera, and I'm just picking these up for the first time. Let's go ahead and take a look at them and follow them step by step. Obviously I know these, but if you guys don't know them, practice it. I recommend you guys print this out and keep it next to you and literally just practice, playing the game and pausing to look at them, to look at the builder and seeing and try to follow it step by step. Practice versus the AI, it really helps working on your builders before you go to the ranked lobbies. Yeah, this will be on YouTube, so this builder will go out there. Again, I've got tons and tons of builders here. I'm only going to be showing a few basic ones on the stream. So of course, there's still value behind the sub wall, of course, if you guys want to support me further. All right, so that's going to be the builder I'm going to be using for this episode. So I'm going to be going for 21 pop archers. That's the builder I just showcased. You could do 22 pop. Basically, when we talk about 21 or 22 pop, it just means how many villagers plus the one scout in the Dark Age that you have before clicking up to the feudal age. I highly recommend you pick an archer civ. Guys, I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I want you guys to pick civs that you enjoy playing and stick to 1 or 2, maybe 3 civs. Don't play random civ from the start. It's not a good idea. Other people might tell you different things. This is my opinion and I feel strongly about it. Pick civs and stick with them because it really helps you learn them and learn the game instead of just taking a new civ and being like, oh, I don't know what to do with the civ. I'm going to lose because I don't know what to do. Where can we find the builder? Question. You just have to subscribe to my Twitch stream, which costs $4.99. It's behind a paywall, but of course it supports me directly. And then you have to join my Discord, and you'll be able to access the builders there. I add a new one every month, so there's always an incentive to go check it out. Okay, so I'm going to be doing some archers. A few civs come to mind. Ethiopians, Britons are really good. What other archer civs can be, really, really strong to take a look at? Vietnamese can be good. Vikings can be classified as an archer civ. There's a lot of good ones. Mayans as well. It really depends on which ones you want. Personally, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm going to go with a very simple one. Let's choose Mayans. Yeah, let's choose Mayans. And again, if you choose mines, it doesn't matter which one you choose. Choose one you like and stick with it. It's going to make it very simple. Actually, mines are a little bit complicated in the start. Sorry, let's choose a different one. Let's choose Ethiopians, okay? Basically, the archers fire faster, and you get really strong firing units. So again, this is going to be, I have to update my text document. This is going to be for 1100 elo. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that. All right, so this is going to be for 1100 elo, and let's go ahead and hop into this guide. So Ethiopians with the archer build, and let's play against the extreme AI. Nowadays, we've been playing online for a little bit, and we're feeling pretty good and ready to learn some build builders and take kick some extreme AI butt pretty much. Okay, let's hop into it and let's see how it goes down. All right, so to start here, I'm going to be using more hotkeys, because as always, you want to use more hotkeys when you're learning things. So I'm going to be adding more hotkeys to my build and my game. And notice I'm adding now a go-to hotkey, go to TC hotkey. That's going to help me really get my start down pretty well. So again, we're going to focus on basic scouting, and we're going to focus on adapting to this builder as much as possible. I'm not going to scout with my animals just yet. Focus on the builder. Don't focus on getting that perfect Dark Age, but focus on constantly improving your Dark Age slowly. So do things at your own pace. If you want to scout with these guys, feel free to do it. But again, not really needed. Alright, good stuff. So again, just going around in circles. I'll mention it again. You start with 4 sheep. In this case, 3 cows. So now I'm looking for either another set of 2 cows and another set of 1 cow, or another set of 2 sheep and another set of 1 cow. It's really random how they do it when there's cows. I have 6 on food. Let's go ahead and go to wood. Very nice. And again, I'm picking Ethiopians. If you pick any other civ, there's different bonuses, but we're not too worried about adapting just yet. So I found my boar very important. I found my deer, but I'm not going to be worried too much about the deer right now. In fact, they're not very important at the moment. I highly recommend, instead of luring deer, instead of taking deer, you stick to the other food sources, which is your sheep, your boar, and your berries, and then farms. You don't need the deer at this current point in time. Okay. So I'm going around here, and I'm picking up, my resources. Notice how I'm scouting in an arc, and notice how I'm a lot more efficient in the way I'm actually scouting. I'm scouting in an arc and finding my resources a lot faster, and my scout isn't stopping. It's constantly being moved. If you guys will notice that I'm actually tabbing to my TC and going back to my scout fast, this is what we call a control group, and this is going to be the introduction to control groups for you guys. Control groups are very important in this game, and they're basically manually made hotkeys that you do in-game. Yeah, you set the hotkeys in-game. So the standard one is to just click a unit and click control 1. That will make it control group 1. If you take another unit, let's say a villager, and you click control 2, it'll make it control group 2. So right now my scout is control group 1. And when I lure a boar, you're going to see later that I make that villager control group 2. And I'll show you guys how I tab between those. Tab to a control group, you double click that number. So if I have control group 1 as my scout, I'll double click 1 and I'll go to it. You guys saw that? Another way to do it though is we do 1 plus space, and that makes it faster actually. So 1 space. So notice how you can do it really fast by just tabbing between those. And this is how you play faster. People always ask me, Hera, I can't play as fast as you. Help. Look, learn, practice doing this. This is how I play fast. I don't have a third hand. I'm not playing fast just because I'm genetically able to play faster. I play faster because I practice using these hotkeys and practice getting my fingers used to doing these clicks quickly. So again, 1 space to go to the scout, and my go to town center button is tab. But again, it could be different for you guys, okay? So just thought I'd do a quick lesson there and showcase how I'm doing this kind of tabbing very quickly. I'm going to make him control 2, okay? So this village is control 2. This scout is control 1. I'm going to be tabbing between all of them here. And meanwhile, while I'm luring the boar, I'm going to get my next villager ready to make a house. Alright, let's lure our boar now. And again, a lot of people have trouble with the boar luring. My advice is, while the village is running, you get anything out of the way done. Make villagers. And then when it's under the town center, you shoot it. And then you garrison when the boar is under the town center. Don't garrison the villager before the boar is exactly where you want to kill it. Okay? And now we'll constantly make villagers. As you can see, I'm putting a lot of emphasis on actually making villagers here. A lot of emphasis on continuing to make my town center work. I'm not just going to be idling it, and I don't want to have any villager that's actually idle, okay? So very nice. I'm just looking at a lot of things. Okay. And again, well, my board's about to run out. Let's pick up the second boar. And again, this is part of the builder. I say send 3 into berries and then take one villager to boar. And then the next villager will go down to the berries to make 4. And again, so, you know, next boar will come in. And you'll put this guy under your town center. And we're going to go ahead and shoot him. And only garrison him, again, when the boar is under the town center. That's when you garrison, okay? Don't garrison before. It makes it a disaster, okay? Next villager has to make a house. Okay, so next villager will make a house. It doesn't really matter where you put it. Again, I'm not going to put too much stress on that just yet. Okay, so at the next step here, we're going to send one villager to woods. And again, this builder is pretty much, you know, perfected by me at this point. I've done it so many times that it's literally second nature. But if you need to take a pause and figure out when the next villager is going to go, definitely do that. Don't hesitate. Next 2 villagers will go and make a second lumber camp. Very good. Alright, so make a second lumber camp. And again, this is all part of the builder. I'm not inventing anything. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just following the builder step by step. Very important. Okay. And when my boar runs out, I'll take some sheep, okay? So again, notice that there's been a big jump in the Dark Age. I'll get loom at the end of it. Notice I did it with a hotkey there. If you guys don't have a hotkey, just click it, obviously. I don't recommend you hotkey text until you're comfortable with other hotkeys, though. Okay, and we're going to try to limit idle time. So drop off your food before loom finishes, and then right away click Feudal Age. Okay, so you'll notice that there's been a pretty huge increase in Dark Age between last episode and this episode. Last episode, I was like all over the place. I was barely doing anything. This episode, my Dark Age is very, very clean. Don't worry if your Dark Age isn't perfect. Don't worry. It's okay. You'll get there, but just practice the build orders. This has been a pretty standard, I don't want to say perfect, but very, very, very well done build. And again, this is where you're working towards. If you're 30 seconds slow, you had idle time. If you're losing vills to board, don't worry. That's okay. It's going to happen. But the more you play, the more the cleaner it's going to be. And the closer to this kind of time you're going to get to, okay? So the builder is available again in my Discord, guys. And hopefully people in chat can help each other. I'm just answering some questions here real quick. But the idea is, in this early game, if you recall in the last episode, I split Age of Empires into 5 parts. 1 for each age: Dark Age, Feudal Age, Castle Age, Imperial Age, and Post-Imperial Age. That's how a standard game of 1v1 Arabia or 1v1 Age of Empire game goes. When you're just starting to learn the game, you learn the Dark Age first. Okay, you do it every time, and it's the easiest portion of the game. So again, in this elo jump of below 1000 to 1100, your Dark Age has to get better. It has to get better. Focus. Resign the game. Do the Dark Age versus the AI, then resign, then restart. Work on the Dark Age. Work on the builder. It takes practice. Keep trying until you get something similar to this, or you get as close to this as you possibly can. Alright, let's keep it going here. So after you click up the Feudal Age, now I need to find my opponent. So I'm going to continue scouting and looking for my opponent. Now it's a good time actually to talk about what the map means, or how to find your opponent, because I do think it's quite important at this ELO as well to find your opponent's location. Not necessarily to do much else, so we're going to go ahead and do that. But first I'm going to fix the build order, and I'm going to send 5 vills to the second lumber camp, and I'm going to take 3 vills to the gold. Oh, sorry. Oh god, I completely messed that up. I already have my second lumber camp. So I sent 3 vills to gold and 2 vills to make 5 here to my second lumber camp. Oh man, speaking of perfect builders, even I made a mistake right now, but it's no big deal. I also need a barracks at this point as well. Let's go ahead and send our healthiest vill to make a barracks on the front. And notice I have hotkeys. If you don't have hotkeys for it, don't worry. You're not going to have a hotkey for everything at this point, but you're adding them slowly, so that's very good. Once again, a quick recap. The mill was touching the berries, lumber camp was touching each wood line, and the gold, there's a 1 tile space. Recap from the first episode. Alright, so how to find your opponent. Basically, you want to scout in places, so let me talk about this for a second. You want to scout in places where your opponent's town center can't be. So again, your opponent's town center, look at my town center. It's not near a wood line. It's not on top of a gold. It's not near the deer. It's not near the berries. It's near straggler trees. Okay? There's nothing around it for a while. It's the same thing for your opponent's town center. So if I'm looking at my scout here, there's no way his town center is going to be right here. There's no way. And if I run to this town center, I can risk losing my scout. I don't want to lose my scout, but I want to find my opponent. So I want to find his, other resources, berries, gold. He's got some gold here, some gold here. That means he's in the vicinity, and some wood here. He's in the vicinity. I see another stone, but he can't be right here. Okay, he's not going to be right here. So I can continue scouting with my scout in this area and actually not lose my scout to the town center. Very good tip. Scout near places where your opponent can't be. Also, the edge of the map. Your opponent can't be near the edge of the map. My town center is not near the edge of the map, so his won't be either. So again, little tip like that. You want to find your opponent's resources because he'll be around those ones, but he's not going to be on those ones, so you're not going to lose your scout. Again, I see a straggler tree. I'm going to be careful. His TC might be there. I'm going to stick near the wood line, and I'll stick near the edge of the map. Once you get to the feudal age, we're going to go ahead and make our ranges. And again, we want to get our ranges down. This is according to the build order now that you guys will practice. So we're going to make our ranges here on the front towards our opponent, because the idea is to rush him. And at this point in feudal age, it's going to get messy, alright? I know a lot of you guys probably don't have the feudal age down completely, but we're going to try to follow the build as close as possible. We'll pick up double bid axe here, and we'll send villagers over to the gold until we have 7. This is all part of the build order, and we'll make a couple farms here just to keep our village production going strong. Okay? So this guy will go ahead and take that. And now we're going to make our 2 ranges. And look at that, I actually forgot to make a house, and these things happen. So I'll make a house right now, and I'll make some archers. So again, notice how it's not perfect. Up to this point, I've focused on perfecting the Dark Age, but I'm not quite at a perfect feudal age. The thing I want to tell you guys is just work on your feudal age. Try to do it as good as you can, as perfect as it possibly can be. So now I'll use 1 villager to make some houses. I don't know where. Let's just find a good place for them. That's too far out. Let's make them in our base. Again, I'm not really too worried about where we place our buildings just yet. I'll explain that a bit later on. At this point, it's just good to get your economy down. And notice how, I'm quite exposed. I don't, my villagers are, if he comes to attack me at any point, I could actually be quite exposed. So what you could do is start learning how to wall your map. So you get some palisade walls down. And again, I keep talking about house placement. You could, if you wanted to, make some houses as part of your wall. It's not something that's very important right now, but it's something to keep in mind. I'll talk about it a lot in the next episode at 1200 ELO, where we focus on being fully walled at certain times. Alright, so notice this is a straight archer build order. We're not worrying about if you heard drush or men-at-arms. These are advanced build orders. We're not worrying about that. We're 1100 currently. We're not looking to have the most, hard to do build order. We just want the basic stuff. And our plan is a bit more than a basic plan. Remember, our first one, our plan was just to make knights. This time, our plan is a little bit more complex than that. Our plan is to make an archer rush and attack our opponent early with a few archers, okay? So let's move out here, and I'm going to constantly... I'm listening to the build order. 7 on gold, and I'm making farms now with the villagers remaining. I'm listening completely to the build order right now. I'm just doing it well, but do it, like I said, as well as you can. Alright, another big lesson. Guys, really open up your ears, unstrap the helmets, shore up the headsets a little bit, really make sure they're nice and snug in there. This is probably the most important lesson I can ever talk about. Patrol or attack move. Let's just get this out of the way as fast as we can. Now, if I send my archers and I right-click them, I want to attack here. I right-click to the gold. What's going to happen is that I walk to the gold, and if at any point I run into enemy units, I'm going to walk past them. Okay? So the problem is if you walk past enemy units, you're going to be not attacking them. And if they're patrolling, they're going to be attacking you. Okay? And if that happens, you will lose your army for absolutely no reason other than the fact that you didn't patrol. Well, Hera, what is patrol? What does it do? Well, patrol just makes your army patrol back and forth. Again, I'm using the same word to explain it, not the best, but it basically makes your army go to one spot and go back. That's what patrol does. You can patrol back and forth, so they'll go from one end to that end, back to there. But what it does when you move across the map, it does another thing. It makes your army fight enemy units as you approach them. That's the important part. So when you patrol or attack move, it's whatever you want. They're both very similar. Attack move, they just don't go back to the same spot. Patrol, they'll actually eventually go back to the same spot once they reach the destination. But the whole point is you patrol to where you want to go. Example, this wood line or this gold. And if at any point you run into enemy units, they're going to fight automatically. Okay, let's give an example. So if I just move to this gold, let's see what's going to happen. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to continue making, adjustments at home, obviously. That's important. Okay. I want to go hit this gold. I really want to hit this gold. And look at this. I'm running right through villagers. I'm running under a tower. I have no idea anything of this happening. Let's do another one. Now I'm going to patrol towards the gold. I'm going to patrol towards the gold, and look at that. My army fights. So right away, your army will fight back and attack enemy units just because you use the patrol command. And it's very important to do that so you don't lose your army randomly. You see me using formations. I probably shouldn't do that. It's not very important right now. And let's just go ahead and fight our opponent's army. It's not important to focus too much on micro, but very basic archer micro is just to hit and run. And if your opponent has skirmishers, you run a little bit further away. Back home, I should have constantly been making, army, constantly been making a lot of economy. Keep following the builder. Again, the builder tells you exactly what to do at this point. It's just exactly what you should be doing. So let's go ahead and do this. Alright, we're going to pick up wheelbarrow as well. That's part of the builder. At around 16 minutes, you want to pick that up. And yeah, that's pretty good. So notice that for Ethiopians, they get an extra 100 food and 100 gold. So on a generic civ or on a different civ, you might not have as many resources as I have now. Oh, I actually forgot fletching. That's a big downside. Generally, you want to pick up fletching before moving out. That's part of the builder. I forgot it, which I'm happy I did because it shows that I make mistakes, right? It shows I was too busy patrolling. I made mistakes. I forgot fletching. That made the rush actually weaker. Your berries will run out around 16 minutes. By the way, I literally tell you in the builder when the berries run out. And my builders are actually insane, by the way. If anyone wants to check them out, highly recommend you do so. I'm not even selling them. I'm just saying it's literally a guide. My builders are literally a guide to 1400, and no one knows it basically. No one is, or a lot of people know it, but a lot of people also don't know it. It's such a hack to get up to ELO a lot faster. Okay, so again, highly recommend you check those out. It's a little bit greedy for me because it is behind a paywall, so it's a sellout. It's a sellout, but it's again very useful for you guys. Okay. So now I'm going to constantly making archers. And again, I saw my opponent having skirms, so I'm not really too keen on attacking right now. But I have a lot of archers, and I could attack, but honestly, I'm a little bit scared. I saw skirmishers. I'm not sure what he's doing. Let's go ahead and just scout what he's doing. And I'm going to keep these guys at home. I'll wait till Castle Age where I get crossbow. All right. So now I'm going to wait till I get 800 food. Okay, let's click up the Castle Age now. Okay, perfect. And again, I would recommend at this ELO, don't obsess over how fast you're getting it. Keep in mind that the faster you do this build, or the faster you go to the Castle Age, the better it is, generally speaking. But don't obsess over the times. Just focus that you're doing everything correctly, and you're doing things in a logical way. Oh, I'm scouting. Yeah, I see he's got a lot of skirmishers. Okay, I'm going to continue looking around here. He only has 2 skirmishers. He has 2 skirmishers. I'm going to attack him. I have more army. Let's go attack him. I'm going to control group my archers. My archers are now control 1. We talked about this earlier. I'm going to patrol towards the wood line. If I find anything in my path, I'll attack it. Meanwhile, back here, we're going to get the upgrades that I tell you guys always to get on the way up. Again, more builder stuff. And we're going to go ahead and send our villagers to wood. Not worrying about too much more for now. Just worrying about our attack now with these archers. Again, I'll patrol to the wood. The scout, he's kind of looking around. Feel free to scout your opponent here. And we're not worrying too much about civ matchups. We're worrying about just what we have. And, oh, beautiful. We found our opponent. We're attacking them. Very nice. Let's go pick up some stuff. And again, basic archer micro, nothing crazy. Hit and run. You hit, and then you move forward. Okay. Ooh, a lot of skirms. A lot of skirms. I don't think that's a lot. I scouted 2 before. Now he's got a lot of skirms. I'm going to back it up. I don't want to lose my archers. I'm about to upgrade them here. I don't want to lose them. So let's go ahead and back them up here real quick. And I'll wait till I get my upgrades in Castle Age. I want to take a quick moment to pause here. This is where the builders generally end, at the start of early Castle Age. I have 2 tips from now on. Again, very important that up until this point, I have a detailed builder. In Dark Age, we have a detailed builder, and we have a lot of ideas in our mind that we know. We know where to place buildings. We know what to do. In Castle Age, there's only one tip I give you. Spend your resources on anything that makes sense, and don't stockpile the resources. One tip, Castle Age, is all you have to focus on, all right? And I'm going to show you guys what I mean of that in a second. And for Imperial Age, we've got another tip. Get to 200 pop as fast as possible, and don't stop making villas until you have 140 of them at least, okay? 140 of them, don't stop making villas until you get there. I see a lot of people stopping at 80 villas. Very, very bad. Get in the habit of making villas up until 140 pop, and then at that point you'll have 60 pop remaining for military, and hopefully you'll have enough there. And obviously continue to add in hotkeys as you see fit. Okay, so now the builder will end after I tell you guys which upgrades to get in Castle Age, which is pretty much these 3. Very important to get them. Remember, this is an economy upgrade. It's an investment of resources. This is to upgrade my military. And notice how I'm getting the body thinner first, not the armor, because it's more efficient for archers. If you're not sure, the general rule is that attack and range for archers is best, and armor for melee units is best as well. That's the general rule, but I have videos on my YouTube explaining these in detail. At this point, you also want to get 2 town centers, because it's important to get up to 3 town centers in Castle Age, because you want to get more village production. The general rule is that you want to make 1 town center on the gold. It doesn't matter which village you use, and another one is another town center on another wood line. So you're using 2 wood lines. We're going to take a 3rd one here, and it just so happens that it's touching the stone. That's just a benefit. Notice how I took villas off the farms to do these, so I'm going to put villas back to the farms. That's only logical. And I have so many resources. I don't like this. I'm going to spend them. I'm going to get archer armor. I'm going to get the heavy plow, the mill upgrade, because it's an eco upgrade. I'll make a university, because I might get, ballistics from that. It's an upgrade that helps your crossbows and makes them hit moving targets. And let's make sure one villager is constantly making houses. Another tip for Castle Age, the house villager, I always like to call it. We'll call her, I don't know, Sandy. Sandy is going to be a house builder. The whole game, she's going to be making houses. It's just a way to not get housed. And again, let's patrol across the map. Hera, patrol. Look at this. I patrolled and I'm fighting without even telling them to fight. They're patrolling and they're fighting. This is so good. Continue fighting. Very nice. Okay. But back home, while you're fighting, common mistake. You stop spending resources. Spend resources. I'm using my select all TC hotkey and making villagers. Okay. I will get ballistics now. Very nice. I'll make farms where I can. Okay, very important. Let's get these upgrades in. Let's spend these resources. I've got too much gold. Too much gold. I don't like this. Let's take some of these guys off and let's send them to wood instead. Very nice. And okay, continuing to attack. Very nice. Continue making archers as well. I'll make a bunch of archers. I'm going to try to keep... Look at my resources as low as possible here. As low as possible. Make villagers and attack your opponent. Okay. Why no Thumbring? I can't afford it. If you want to get Thumbring, you can. He's got a lot of skirmishers. Maybe this is not a good fight. Let's back up. Okay, let's make some more farms. Get my eco going. Yeah, there's a lot of skirmishers. So I have to run away because skirmishers counter archers, generally speaking. We have to run away. Sandy, keep making houses, Sandy. Don't worry about it. Okay, knights we can hit. Hit and run. Very basic archer micro. Hit, run, hit, run. Very cool. Hit, run. Notice I have ballistics, so I hit moving targets very efficiently now. Okay, so at this point, my economy is looking obviously quite, more or less pretty clean. Probably better than 1100s can do it. I'm gonna be real. I can't imitate 1100 perfectly, but just play at your level, right? If your level is to have 10 idols constantly, try to work on that. The ideal thing is to have 0 idols and pretty much spending resources constantly. I can fight skirmishers on the hill because I get the hill bonus, so that's a good way to deal with counter units. Another way to deal with counter units is to make the counter to that unit. If you're playing rock, paper, scissors, and you go rock, your opponent goes paper, you then have to make scissors. If you can switch your move, would you switch to play paper? Okay? If you go rock, he goes paper, and for some reason you can switch. You don't go paper, you don't go rock again, you go for scissors, you go for the counter to his counter. If he's going for skirmishers, we can then go for some knights to counter those skirmishers. We can go for some siege to counter those as well. Okay, so very important. This game is a lot about counters and a lot about unit compositions and all that stuff. I put it in simplest terms for you guys now in this episode. Sandy, make some villagers, okay? Make some villagers. Type Sandy in the YouTube comments if you aspire to be like her one day when you grow up. Maybe after university, you'll make some houses in a corner for your Ethiopian empire to thrive under a ruler like me, who can micro archers like it's his daytime job. And yeah, and then contribute absolutely nothing to a real life society, pretty much. Okay, I'm not spending resources. I'm playing really poorly. Let's spend resources here, okay? This is how you Gojit, okay? Let's get there. Make some knights. Yeah, what else can I do? I have no idea what to do, Hera. Well, let's get a siege workshop. It's a really good building, lets you make some siege. You can even get a monastery. Monastery lets you pick up relics, which gives you an infinite trickle of gold. Very important in the late game, as we all know. Gold is very important for late game. It's the most important resource in the late game, gold and stone, that is. Okay, so let's go ahead and attack. At this point, oh, look at that. Thumb ring is good. I'm making knights, so let's visit the blacksmith. Well, I've got some buildings. I've got some things from the blacksmith I can get, but I've got too much gold. Too much gold, let's make a market. I'm going to balance that out. Oh, I don't want to attack a tower. That's not good. Go around. All right, and I'm gonna continue making some knights here. I'll make a monk. Notice how I'm expanding my base now. Some skirmishers. Oh, I've got the scissors to his paper. Let's use them. Let's use them. Look at that. Very good. I'm using too many formations out of habit. I'm sorry about that. We'll get into formations later on. Let's refresh the lumber camp. It's something to spend my resources on. Think of refreshing your lumber camp. Oh, there it is. We're fighting now. I should pick up armor though. Right now, my scissors are sorry. What was my knight supposed to be? The scissors. My scissors need sharpening. Let's get some armor. To be able to really shred through his paper. Okay. This analogy is getting way too deep. At the end of the day, we're gonna be experts at rock paper scissors and be pretty much completely terrible at Age of Empires, but that's okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and run back and continue making some knights. And notice my resources are stockpiling because I'm not playing fast. I'm not playing fast enough. This is okay. Don't panic. Just work on it. Get Sandy to continue making houses. Make more buildings. Don't be afraid of military production buildings. I know a lot of people get really bent out of shape when they make like 2 military productions. They feel like they have enough. They feel like, you know, I'm satisfied. This is enough. I'm like, make more. They get bent out of shape and I tell them to make more. They said, I don't need. It's 175 wood. That's doing literally nothing if you don't make the building. Make the building. It's not a big deal, right? You make the building. And now my resources are getting too much. I can't spend them fast enough. Let's go to Imperial Age. I have a lot of army. I'm gonna go to Imperial Age. The reason you want to make army first and not go straight to Imperial Age is because Imperial Age is a big investment. 1,800 resources split between food and gold. If you just get there randomly, like you just randomly click it, you're not gonna have a very efficient time doing so, because well, you're gonna have resources invested into it, and you're gonna have absolutely let's finish making 3 houses and absolutely no army to even upgrade with Imperial Age. Okay, let's attack. I'm not doing anything. I'm getting bored with my military sitting on a hill, so let's go ahead and attack. And again, I'm patrol. Oh, now he's got pikemen and he's got skirmisher. So now you might be thinking, this is an important time to pause here. You might be thinking, well, he's got, I don't know, he's got pikemen, which counters my knights, and he's got skirmishers to counter my archers, so I'm dead. There's no way I can win this fight. He has 2 counter units. Oh my god, Hera, you didn't prepare for me for this. Actually, I did. Hold on, because let's go back to the rock, paper, scissors analogy. Actually, let's look at it a different way. I've got archers that counter his pikemen, and I've got knights that counter his skirmishers. So all of a sudden, I'm countering him, right? I'm completely countering him. So, who wins? Because if you look at it one way, he's got the counter. If you look at it another way, I've got the counter. The person who wins is the person who takes the engagement the best. I'm gonna hide my rock. I'm gonna hide my rock from his paper. I'm gonna hide my scissors from his rock, which is the pikeman. Okay. So again, I'm using my counter, which is the archers, to kill his pikemen. I'm gonna use my knights, which is the counter to skirmishers, to kill his skirmishers. And whoever does this better will win the fight. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna use my archers to kill the pikemen and the knights to kill these skirmishers. And it just so happens that gold units tend to be slightly better, or way better actually, than non-gold units in terms of raw stats. And so my gold army is gonna absolutely decimate. It's gonna absolutely decimate his army. Look at that. I lost like literally no units. Okay? But during the whole time, never stop making villagers. Again, we want to try to get to 200 pop now. Oh, get this, farm upgrade here. Very good. And again, that's just how you play this. Monk is converting my knight. Let's run away. Again, that's a counter. We're going to use our counter to his monk to snipe it. See that? Very, very nice. Let's make more army. I'm lacking gold now. Let's sell some wood. Feel free to use the market here. At this stage in the game, it's okay. And constantly make villagers. At this point, I might want some castles, so let's maybe take some stone. That could be a pretty good use. And, oh, I can get a handcart. That's a pretty good upgrade. It's a upgrade that's helps your economy, so let's get it. Oh, I'm missing upgrades. That's not good. Okay. Well, we don't need any more houses, because Sandy did a hell of a job over there. We need more Sandys in the world, that's for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and take out his army. And again, I'm waiting for Imperial Age, because I'm going to be getting more upgrades now. Let's go ahead and get Cavalier. And let's go ahead and get Arbalest from the blacksmith. We're gonna prioritize our armor, or sorry, an attack on the Arbalest. And we're gonna go ahead and get chemistry as well, because that's all the upgrades for it. I got all the upgrades for my units pretty much. Nothing too crazy going on. But I'm not looking to expand my map. Now I'm looking to just attack my opponent. Okay? I'm looking to attack my opponent. And one more thing I want to talk about here. So in Dark Age, buildings are way stronger than military. Way stronger. Think about it. Your military is a militia. You can never kill this town center with militia. You need like 60 or 70 militia to kill it. It's very unreasonable. In Feudal Age, it's still pretty unreasonable. You have scouts, men-at-arms. You can never really kill this town center, but those guys, they're too weak. In Castle Age, you have knights. Knights in pretty big mass, like 20 knights, can actually take out a town center. You have a lot of pierce armor, so you don't take a lot of retaliation from the arrows that it shoots. In Imperial Age, units become way stronger than buildings. In fact, the castle, the strongest building in the game, or maybe bomber tower and castle, can be easily taken out by trebuchets. You can easily run under them with cavalier, with paladin. So again, don't be afraid of buildings now. And now that I'm in Imperial Age and I'm getting my Imperial Age upgrades, I can easily kill his buildings if I just sit underneath them and completely take them out. So don't be afraid of these guys, and let's continue making more and more units. I can take this gold. I'm actually lacking some gold. Let's go ahead and take that. Never stop making villas. Constantly make villas. I haven't done a great job of making villas this game. So again, continue making villas at your own pace, and really now take out your opponent. Don't be afraid of his buildings in Imperial Age. Okay, I've got a lot of wood. I can't keep selling. The price gets weaker and weaker. Let's make a mill and 6 farms. That way I get more food and I get less wood, because I don't really need wood at this point. I'm floating too much of it. I'm just trying to spend my resources and get to 200 pop as fast as possible. In fact, I'm making too much cavalier. It's too much gold. Let's get light cav, just to tone down the gold a little bit, and make our blessed as well. Alright. Gifting some subs here is Atomic Sausage. Just want to say thank you real quick, and thank you to all the people who are supporting the channel. Meanwhile, we're just wrapping up this episode here, and hopefully we've all learned something about rock, paper, and scissors. Dodge the Maggot. Oh, taking a big shot. Well, it happens to me as well. Okay, now I've got enough for a castle. Where do I put my castle? Generally speaking, it's good to make it on hills because it lets you control the map. I'm not going to be worrying too much about castle placements. So, bottom line is, make the castle anywhere you want it. I want to end the game, so I'm going to make the castle forward. If you want to defend yourself, make it in your base. Let's do it here. Okay, so let's go ahead and just completely run over the AI now. And again, I'm doing my best to get to 200 pop now. Remember, that was the thing I talked about before the video started. You want to get to 200 pop in Imp. That's your main goal. So let's get to 200 pop as fast as possible here. I'm going to constantly try to balance my eco and get up to 200 pop as much as I can. I don't like a lot of wood. Wood does nothing in this late game, okay? So let's go ahead and completely destroy our opponent now. Raid him all over the map. And again, don't be afraid to trade units. Oh, that guy's bugging out. Don't be afraid to trade units. You have so many units on the field right now that if you lose 1 or 2 for, to be under his town center, it's worth it. You're completely idling everything he's got, and you're completely overrunning him, okay? Alright, so again, I'm not focusing on composition right now. I'm not focusing on anything too crazy. I'm just focusing on getting to Imperial Age and getting to 200 pop as fast as possible while constantly making villagers. Okay? Notice if I got too many villagers here, I can just simply expand to other resources. Cool. Very nice. I could use some more villagers on this gold as well. Refresh the lumber camp. Make more farms. I'm just investing my resources, trying to keep spending them pretty much. That's what you should do, Castle Age onwards. And yeah, just waiting for him to resign at this point. I've got nothing else to say at this point. I feel like I've said it all for what I want to cover this episode. Gosh, the Mangonel splits. All right, that's a preview for the next episode. That's when you're like in Cal 1 class and your teacher shows you what I don't know what an integral is. You're like, oh shit, what is that? He's like, don't worry about it, you'll learn it later. That's what the split is basically. Okay, and GG! Wow, very nice play there from Hera. The AI stood no chance at this point, and yeah, it was a very nice move to end out the game here with the good old Black Death. Guys, the game was over. I just didn't know when he was going to resign, and I don't want these episodes dragging too long, okay? So don't use Black Death, but use it in Imperial Age if you know the game is over, okay? The game was over. Don't hate on a cheater. The game is over. If anything, he was wasting all of our time. So I just wanted to, quickly destroy the AI here. But just a quick recap here on what we learned today. We learned a little bit about army micro patrol, basic stuff when it comes to attacking our opponents. And we also perfected our Dark Age. Well, not perfected, but we improved our Dark Age, and we started to learn our Feudal Age in our builder. I really want to emphasize in this ELO range 1100. all the way up to like 1100, 1200, maybe 1300. I really, guys, don't focus too much on Castle Age and Imperial Age. Focus a lot on Feudal Age. Put your energy into learning how to do a proper Feudal Age, and put your energy on doing a proper Dark Age as well. Castle Age, if it's really messy, it's okay. Don't worry about it. If you're not spending resources fast enough, practice it, but definitely don't lose sleep because you're not getting the perfect times, or because you're not making the most efficient micro moves and all that good stuff in Castle Age. Really just focus on the Feudal Age. At this point, it's going to be much more beneficial for you. And then in Castle Age, focus on spending your resources as fast as possible at your own pace. Do it as best you can. And in Imperial Age, try to get to 200 pop as fast as you can. Again, as you can see, this game, I didn't even get there. So it's okay if you don't get there. You just focus on getting there as fast as you can. By doing this, I put emphasis on creating units, on attacking your opponents, and on actually constantly making villagers. And that's the things you need to work on, pretty much.